as long as we don't have too much. All right, guys, we're just working on challenges every day. This is a new challenge. This is Tuesday's challenge, and we're going to work through making this with Visual Studio Code. Have one of my students here, Chris. He's going to be working with me get this done. So, first things first, what I like to do is let's make a folder. I'm going to make it inside of week 4, and I'm going to call this folder, or you can make a folder, wherever you make it. Just make sure you know how to get to it.
Okay.
But we'll make a folder, and we're going to call it workout. We can call it workout challenge, maybe. Workout challenge. This is our week 4 challenge. Inside of that, actually, that's all we need to do is make a folder and call it workout challenge. I actually put the picture in there so I can refer to that when I need be. But okay. Can you do that pretty well?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So if you're pretty much there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to Visual Studio Code. Go over to Visual Studio Code. I'm going to open up a new window. In this new window, I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to open the folder that we just created. Workout challenge. Open that folder. All right, cool. So we just open that folder. I'm gonna make in Visual Studio Code. I'm gonna go over here to New File, and I'm gonna call that file. Let's just do workout.ht. I can't even type. Workout.html. Hit enter. And then I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna call it workout.css. Workout.css. So I got my CSS file and my HTML file ready to go. I'm gonna let me know if I'm going too fast, Chris.
No, you're good. I'm just trying to open the CSS thing. I got the HTML open.
All right. So in the HTML, to get us a head start, I'm just gonna type HTML, and then I'm gonna go down to HTML5. That's gonna start us with our code that's gonna start this as an HTML file. And when we open up our browser, Chrome or whatever, it'll recognize it as an HTML file, which is cool. All right, cool. We're gonna name this, we're gonna give this a title. We're gonna call this title, what was the name of that? Fitness Club. We'll give it a title called Fitness Club. Fitness Club. So basically, if somebody goes to www.fitnessclub.com, at the top it'll say Fitness Club. All right, and then the first thing I always like to do is I like to go get the CSS link. And if you don't know it or you don't have it from one of your old assignments, let's just go to CSS Link, and we're going to hit enter. We're going to go to W3 schools, and it's pretty much going to give us the link for HTML, which this is not the one I'm looking for. This is link in HTML. That's what I'm looking for. Let's see if W3 HTML link tag. Here we go. Nope, that's not what we're looking for. Which we can use this one too. We're just gonna copy it, link, style sheet, and then we're going to have that there. So we're gonna take that back to our HTML. In the head, we're gonna go ahead and paste that in there. And basically for our HTML file to link to our workout CSS, we're gonna change the reference to reference the workout.css. Workout.css. So now in our workout.css is going to directly come. So what I want to do here first is let's just make a div, and we're going to call this div. We're going to make a div, and we're going to give it an ID. We're going to hit ID. We're going to type in ID, hit enter. Oops. Type in ID. Okay, something happened there. Div space ID, enter, and we're going to give that wrapper. You guys can call it whatever you want. You can call it background, whatever, but I prefer to call mine wrapper. And if you're following along, you can do the same thing that I do. It'll get you the same. It'll get you the same out. The same output would be the same. So this div ID wrapper. What I want to do is I want to give it some characteristics. So I'm going to go to workout.css. I'm going to use the hashtag, which targets. It targets our wrapper. We're pretty much going to give the hashtag wrapper, which pretty much targets this wrapper, this div that we call it. We're going to give that wrapper some characteristics. Properties, I'm guessing, is the proper way for. We're going to give it some properties. We're going to give it a background color. We're going to give it a background color. Let's just say I'm just going to give it anything. You can do aqua if you want. Then I'm going to give it a width. I'm going to give it a width of, let's say I'm going to give it 1,000 because I want it to be 1,000 pics. And I'm going to give it a height of 700 pixels. And then I'm also going to do something. I'm going to call it overflow hidden. I'm going to put that in there. So what that's going to do is basically we want to check and see if our CSS link is working. So what I'm going to do, workout.css. What I'm going to do is run this real quick. Open it, right click, open in default browser, or you can do Alternate B will do the same thing. I know you're using Mac now, right, Chris? We're using, I think it's still Alt B or Alt B on Mac as well. Command B, sorry. It'll probably be Command B on.
I got. Okay, I got it now. So I created a file using TextEdit, and then it opened up Visual Code and was typing in what you were typing in, and then open up that file from the TextEdit to the Visual Code, and it worked out. But I just don't have the color.
Okay, yeah. No, basically the only thing we should see is what we created, the div, and we gave it background color aqua and the size. That's the only thing we should see. You should see this. Do you see this?
I'm a bit behind, but I see it on your computer.
Okay, cool. Do you want me to slow down, let you catch up, or you want me to just keep going?
Keep going.
Okay, cool. So we just started to get it going. Basically we just created this. I gave it a background color of blue, but we can change it later. But all right, cool. So visually, what I always tell you guys to do when you're recreating a website is basically kind of look and see what's going on. Looks like we have like a header box that's gonna have all of this stuff in there, which is cool. We'll have that in there. And then we have another group that has 2 boxes in there. That has 2 boxes in there that has like this. That has we can make a div, and then we can make another div that has 2 divs inside. So that div and that div. And then we can start adding stuff in there to make stuff look right. So I think that's how we're gonna start. I mean, is that what you kind of see as well, Chris?
Yeah.
You see this? All right, cool. So let's get the outer let's get the outer stuff going. Let's get those two divs. Let's do a div. Let's do one div and we'll call that div header. Div, we'll give it an ID and we'll call that head. Head or header, whatever you want to do. And then on the same level, I'm going to give it another div that goes up under the head, and we're going to call that body. Give it an ID called body, which is awesome. Cool. So, and let's go ahead and give the header some properties. Let's go ahead and give it a background color. I want to give it a different color, and we'll change these colors at the end to make it look right. But as you guys know, I like to give mine different colors at first, just so we can see what's going on. I'm going to give it the same width. I'm going to give it the same width as the page, 1,000 pixels. But the height is going to be very small. I'm going to give it maybe like 200 pixels for the height. 200 pixels for the height. And then the rest, I'm going to give it to the body. So let's go ahead and make the body as well. Let's go ahead and give it some properties. We'll give it a background color of, let's just say something. We'll give it a background of blue violet, and then we'll give it a width. We want the width to stretch out the same as so we give that the same as 1,000 pixels again. And then the height. I'm not gonna do it because I want you guys to see what's happening first. Get in the habit of checking your work when you do it. So this is gonna be the top div for the header, which looks about right. Looks good.
Nice. Nice.
Our workout website. So that's basically creating a div that's gonna carry all of that stuff. It's gonna have all that in there. And then we're gonna make the body div that pretty much takes up the rest. But I'm not gonna make this little part because I think that's just some words. We're not gonna worry about that. We're just gonna make this top and then this box right here, the body box. That's what we're gonna make for this website. So if we look back, we have the top right here, and then the rest is gonna be the bottom div, which once I give it properties, you'll see it. Go back to the code. Go back to the code. We're gonna give it some more. We're gonna give it the rest of the height is 500 because 500 plus 200 equals 700, which is the height of here. If you understand what I'm doing right there. Do you get that? Does that make any sense?
Well,
the full height of the wrapper is 700, so I only wanted 200 to give it just like that top, and then the rest of it is going to be the body at 500. So 500 plus 200 equals this 700. That's all I did. Now once I go back after doing that, you'll see the rest. There we go. So I have the top div and the bottom div. There we go. All right, so seeing that the bottom div is going to be a little bit easier, let's work with that first. Get some properties in there to make that look good. Because I mean, look, we have a div inside of the body. We have a div inside of the body that has two divs inside. So we have that div with a picture, and this div that has maybe three divs. So I have a div right there that carries that, a div that carries the middle, and then another div that carries just the button.
what?
And I'm just doing that to keep everything uniform and keep everything working. I'm just visually the body. See the body, this whole body square. This whole body square is probably just gonna have just one div that's right in the middle. One div that's right in the middle. So let's create that div. Let me just show you what I'm doing. Let's create that div. So in the body, go back. Let's create a div. We're gonna give that ID. Give that an ID, and we're gonna call that. Let's just call it body holder. Body holder. All right, we're gonna give that a div. We're gonna call it body holder, and then let's give it some properties. So let's target it with the hashtag body holder, and we kind of want it to be in the middle of the width. So let's do something like, let's give it 150 on each side, which is 300. So we want it to be 700. We want it to be 700 pixels wide. Width, we're gonna give it 700 pixels wide, and then height is gonna be the same height as the body. No, we don't want it to be. Let's give it about 400 for the height. Cool. Let's give it a background color too for now. We can take that out later. Let's give it a different. I just picked the color. You guys can pick a color as well. And cool. Now, let's see what happens. So yeah, cool. So we have a div, and all we're gonna do is kind of move this div over, move it over to the middle a little bit. I'm gonna say we're gonna move it relative to where it is now to the right 150 pixels. So let's see what happens. Let's go to the inspect tool, and then let's click our body holder, and then let's give it position, relative, and then relative to the left, maybe 150 pixels. Huh. Looks good. Maybe it may actually be like 100.
Oh.
125. There we go. So that's about even. So we want to add position relative and left 125 pixels. That looks about right. It looks good. If it doesn't, we can change it later. So body holder, let's do that. Cool. So now when we go back, that's what we're gonna carry and hold the. Let's gonna hold the picture to the left. We'll find a picture. It may not be this exact picture, but it'll be close. We'll find some picture of somebody working out here, and then we'll have another div, a smaller div on the side that says get free training, and then it'll have all of this stuff, and then we'll have a button. So that's what we'll do. We can work on the first. Let's work on finding a picture first. Let me find a picture. You can find a picture as well. If you're following along, let's picture of girl working out. We're not gonna find anything perverted, but I mean, you can do, hey, check that out. That looks very close. It's not the same chick, but that looks very close. So let's save image as, and I want to save it in the same folder as our workout challenge. I'm not gonna give her a race, even though she is a black woman. We're gonna say working out, and then it's gonna save it as .jpeg, or you could just do .jpeg, JPG, and that'll save it as workout.jpg. All right, cool. So now we have that picture. Let's give that first. So in the body holder, let's do 2 more divs. You still with me?
Yeah.
Did you get that picture, or?
How did you save it as?
I saved it as working working lowercase out capital case O .jpg. ID, we're gonna give this words box, and then we're gonna give this an ID of picture box. ID picture box. All right, cool. So picture box and words box. Now, I'll let you catch up a little bit while I explain what we're gonna do next.
Yeah.
Let me try and I'll let you catch up. So all I did was I saved a picture inside of our folder called Working Out, which I found this lady. And then I made a div inside of the body holder. It's called Picture Box, which is gonna hold the picture. And then I made another one called Word Box, where it's gonna have those words and stuff in there as well. So that's easy. That's all I did. And now all I have to do is give them some properties in my CSS. So inside of the body holder, we have the div that's called picture box. And then we also have another div called, is it words box or word box? Words box with an S. Words box. All right, cool. Now let's give it some properties. We know the body holder's width is 700 and its height is 400. So we can do height. We know we want the height to be the same. Height 400 pixels. And I'm basically gonna copy and paste that, the same thing. I want that in both boxes. And that's basically Alt, Shift, and down. That does work on Mac too. And it may be Command Shift down for Mac. But it's the same thing. So I want height in both of them as 400. But I know the picture box was a little bit wider than the words box. It's wider. So we know the width is 700. So let's do something like, we can do something like 400 for the picture box and 300 for the words box, or we can do something very drastic, 500. We'll see what it looks like. Let's do the width as 500 first, and it'll let us know what it looks like. And let's give it a background color of, I'm just gonna give it a background color of black, because that's gonna have a picture there. And then we'll give this one a width of 200 pixels. That's pretty much going to take up the rest of the width of the box. And then we're going to give it a background color of, we're just going to give it white. White for now. All right, cool. So after I did that, I want to check and make sure my looks good. Okay. So as we can see, these have some padding on there, which pushes it out. It's too much. Let's see. Let's change that maybe to like 199, 198. Let's see. Nope. What is going on here? Okay, I think I know what's going on. So once again, we have to deal with this display property. This first picture box is taking up the whole length. It's taking up the whole length of this whole div. So let's put display inline block on both and see if that fixes our problem. Inline dash block. I'm going to use Alt Shift down to copy it and then Alt and down to move it. So just basically one of them both. And that's Command Shift down for you guys on Mac. And let's see what happens. Just open it back up. Nope. Still the same thing. Still the same thing. But maybe this 200 at this point is too big. Yeah. Let's move it down to about 191. We're going to change the width to 191 because it was too big because of the custom padding. Not the custom, the default padding. So I'm going to take it down to 191 for the width. So now it looks about right. So we're going to have the words in there, and then we're going to have the picture right here.
The width on which one? The body holder?
The words box. The width is going to go down to 191. So we're going to go back to the words box. We're going to take the width down to 191. And we probably can take the width down here. Let's say about, oops, you take the width down on this one to about 480. So I just want to give us some space.
All right.
Give us some space. If I do that, I probably could keep that at 200. But we're going to see what happens. Yeah, it's too much. But that's fine because we can 480 and we can move that one back to 200. Or we can leave it there. We can leave it like that. That's fine. We can leave it like that and then we'll play with it to make it look better. All right, cool. So the middle box is pretty much coming together really well. Like, I don't know which one looks better, but you know, it's coming together. So now next thing we want to do is let's go ahead and put a image in the picture box. How do we do that? I know, but we'll go ahead and just find it if you don't know. Google is your friend. How to add image in HTML. There we go. We've done this a couple times. We're going to keep doing it until you guys get it in your head. Like, hey, this is what I need to do. Google it. We'll go to W3 Schools. And I like to use the one with the inline styling. We'll show you guys how to do this later outside of inline styling. But for now, we'll go here and we'll copy it. You have this? You on the same page?
Yeah, I'm going there. We're on the same page on the examples.
Yep. And we're gonna grab this one that has the inline styling with the width and the height. And then we're basically gonna go back to our workout HTML and we're gonna put it inside of our picture box. Now, we know the width and height of the picture box is, we can just go here. Picture box is 400 for height and 480 for width. So we're gonna do that for the same thing. So we want it to be the same 480 and 400. So we want that to be the same width and height of the picture box. And we'll see if that works. If not, we'll adjust it a little bit. But let's see what happens. Nothing. Oh, yeah, that's why. We forgot to change the link, the source. The source we want it to be workingout.jpg. So it's gonna look for working out that JPG and put this picture in that picture box. There we go. Whoa, yeah. Now this picture is low quality, so this is what we get. But I mean, hey, it's working. Are you with me?
I didn't get it.
Here's the code. Picture box, I put an image. Working out that JPG was the name of the image that we named. And alternate is just what it's going to look like if the picture doesn't show up. Girl working out. And we gave it the same width and height as the div because we wanted it to be the same. So that's all we did for picture box. And we copied and paste image from online. Copied and paste that from online. All right, words box. Now, while you catch up, what I'm gonna do is explain what we're gonna do next. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to pretty much put a div inside of our words box, and we're gonna have 3 divs inside because I want a div that has this get free training, a div that has these words in it. We don't care what the words say. And then we're gonna have another smaller div that has a button in there that says read more. So if this picture was if this was a live website, once they click on this button, it'll probably redirect to a different page. So let's give 3 divs. Let's give it a div. Let's give it a div. Let me make this bigger for you guys. Give a div, and then I want to make 3 of them. So I'm gonna do Alt Shift down or Command Shift down. I think it is for Mac. If I'm wrong, you guys let me know. But all right, cool. And we're gonna give this an ID. We give that ID of top. Give this one an ID, and we're gonna give it mid. And then we're gonna give the last one an ID, and then call it bottom. All right, that looks about right. Because we're gonna have a div that's top, mid, and bottom. And now let's give these some properties. Let's go with, I'll make 1 and then I'll copy and paste them. Top, we're gonna give it a background color of burly wood since that popped up first. Actually, no, we already used burly wood. Let's give it a different color. Background color of okay. Background color of whatever that is. And we know it's going inside of this words box. So the width, we want it to be the same width. 191 pixels, because it's going inside of there. We actually may need to make it a little bit smaller. Let's give it a width of 188. We'll make it a little bit smaller because of the default styling. And then let's give it a height. Give it a height of, we're gonna pretty much cut the height in 3. 4 divided by 3 is very tough. I think what it's 130 maybe? 135? Let's just do 130. 130 pixels. All right, cool. And let's basically do this Alt Shift and down 3 more times. Change this one to mid. Change this to bottom. Let's get a different color for this. Papaya whip, whatever that is, sounds dope. And then let's give this one blue. It's gonna be weird colors, but we'll change it at the end. All right, cool. Let's see what happens. See what it looks like. All right, yeah, so it works. These two colors are very similar, but we have that one, we have that one, and we have that one. So that looks good to me. Now maybe I may want to make this smaller one smaller so I can get more words into this second one. So what I'll do is probably take out half of this. 13, half of 13 is about 65. I'll make the bottom one 65 and then give 65 to this one to make it a little bit bigger. So we'll make the height, we'll just give it 70, and then I'll give 65 to this height, and that'll be 195. And I just did that because the bottom one's just gonna have that button in there, so we don't need much space for that bottom one. We'll give this middle one enough room for the words, and it'll just be a button in there. So it looks good. All right, cool. Now we know in this top one we have some words. We have two words, 3 words. Get free up top and then training up bottom. So let's do something like, let's do H1 maybe, or let's see. Let's see. Yeah, it's the same size as this, and it looks like these two are the same colors. So let's do one H1 that says get free, and under it we'll have another one that says training. And this is going by pretty quick. Like I said, I knew this was going to be pretty cool. All right, so let's do H1. Get free. And under it, we'll do another H1 that says training. Now let's see if this works. Let's see. Yikes. That looks disgusting.
Cocoa beans.
Every time I put words in here, it's been doing this, lately. I have no idea why. All right, you know what? Let me try something. Let me try making some divs in here. Div. And we'll put that one inside of there. I don't know if this is gonna fix it, but this is my only thought that I had last night, that maybe this will fix it. Let's see. Nope. Didn't fix it. Okay, now watch. Now, as soon as I comment that out, it fixes. Ooh, I did something too much. Comment that out. We'll work with the words last. Maybe let's put the button in. Maybe the button will work. Let's put the button in here. Button, and that button's just going to say, what that button say? Read more. Read more. We can fix that later. I don't understand why this keeps shifting when we do that, when we add stuff into these. Never had that issue before. It's the only thing that keeps plaguing me every single day. And then I have to continue to fix it. But let's keep moving on. We'll move from bottom to top, it looks like. And we'll fix it later. I didn't want to fix it, but we will. Looks like we just have some words in there. Which is just lorem ipsum. We don't want many words. Let's do something like this. P tag. And then let's see how bad that screwed up everything. Nope, that didn't. Okay, cool. And then, yeah. Let's take these divs out. Oh, Jesus. Take this div out. Take that div, that div. Excuse me. Okay. All right, cool. Let's see how that looks. I just worked up from, okay, cool. Now, yeah. All right, cool. Let's give these, let's give our H1 tags class, and we're going to use that class. And the class pretty much just means, hey, we have all this stuff. We have everything. All right, let me just show you first. Just like we've been doing, let's do words top. And then let's give this the same class. Word top. So anytime a H1 has this class of words top, I could probably make an ID there. I guess it doesn't really matter. I probably should make it an ID. We'll make it an ID. We'll make it an ID words top, and then when we style it, we can just, anytime you see words top, it'll have the same styling. So basically, I just want the color to be, let's do this cornflower blue. And then that's pretty much all I want to do right now. I don't really care if it doesn't look. Well, that should have turned blue. Or is it text color blue? All right. It may be text color blue, but if you don't know, look it up. How to change H1 color in HTML. See if we can find a W3. Yeah, there we go. So style, background, color. Background, it's okay, it's gonna be background color. Cool. What's it called? Words top. Words top. All right, cool. So now when we refresh, should see. Nope. Oh well, that just gave background color blue. What the heck? That didn't work. Style, color. Let's do inline styling and see if it works. I tried color and color didn't work. Sometimes you just have to, that's what coding is. You get some bugs, which bugs is behavior that you didn't expect, behavior that didn't come as expected, and you have to try and fix it. I could have sworn I tried color blue already. Could have sworn I tried that already. But, oh, there we go. That one worked. All right. Oh, capital W. There we go. Had to be lowercase w's. All right, cool. So yeah, there we go. Get free training. Get free training, which is fine. And these words have some custom. Let's take all of this. Copy. I'm gonna copy all of that, and I'm going to put that in my code so I can get rid of that custom styling. I don't want these margins. It's kind of messing up my font weight mode. Okay, cool. There we go. Get free training. Nice. Center. And all right, cool. And then now all we have to do is style our P tag. Give that an ID. We're going to call that mid words. And this is just random words. It doesn't mean anything. It's basically what they did. You guys can type any kind of words you want, but I'll move that all the way down to the bottom. Move it out of my way. Just gonna copy and paste that, move that down. Mid words. Give it the color of that. And then I want to align it, text align center. Let's look. There we go. I don't think that's text align, maybe left. Let's go back. This doesn't look right. That may be left. Refresh. Yeah, now we got text align left, which is cool. And then we can align it to the middle, I think, because that'll look a little bit better. It's not what I was looking for. But, all right, we'll leave that there. So it's coming together, guys. This is basically all coding is it's coming together. It's starting to look right. And then let's style this button now. And then that'll be pretty much it for that, for the mid. And then we'll just move this div up relative to where it takes us. And then we should be good. So let's mess with this button that says read more. Let's find out how to style buttons. Let's see, we want to go to W3 schools if they have it, which they do. Default button. Oh, we can do all of this stuff. We can do all of this stuff right here. Rounded buttons, we can do something like that. But basically, we want this green button like this, but we want it to be black instead. So we'll take that. Class button means anytime we do a button, it's gonna look like that. This dot means class. Anytime class is button. Anytime you put a button onto this, it'll look like that. All right, cool. Let's see what that looks like. That didn't work. Put it in the wrong. Let's give this button an ID then. Button. I don't know why that didn't work. But ID button. I don't know why that didn't work, but there we go. Cool. All right, we're gonna mess with this button. Text align center button. We're gonna give it a position. Position relative. Left. Give it left. Let's do 10 pixels for now. And then we can change that to make it look a little bit better. And then we'll do top as well. 10 pixels. How did that look? At that? Okay, go back. Yeah. All right, cool. And we'll just move everything over to the left. We'll move everything over to the left 15 pixels. Let's just say 15 pixels. All right, cool. So they all can line up pretty well. We'll move everything to the left 15 pixels. All right, so button. Do something like that, and then I'm gonna take this, and I want each one of these to be lined up like that. See how it looks? There we go. Cool. Now these are all lined up on the same line, invisible line, but they all are lined up. All right, cool. Now let's move this up, change this all to, we'll change the background to white, to black. Change the background to black on picture box. We'll change the background to like a gray black. Do black. That black, and we'll take the background color out of these. I'm just basically doing control and the slash to take all the background colors out. Actually, I don't want that. I don't want this one. Just, okay, that's good too. All right, see what that looks like. Cool. That looks about right. And then let's just picture box, words box. What I want to do is position top. Basically gonna move this box now. Oh, I can't. Oh, there we go. I'm just gonna move that to probably negative, whatever it is, negative 29. So I want to move it back up. Negative 29. We have that right now. And then this box holder, I'm going to change that to black now too. And voila. I know it's not the same kind of black, but looks very close. And we can change this stuff up a little bit later. So it looks like that's more like a gray than black. But right now I'm just trying to get everything looking how it's supposed to look. And that's basically how we create some of this stuff, Chris. Like, I hope this kind of helps you out.
Yeah, it sure did.
Let's help you out. And I mean, what I'll do is I'll leave you guys. I'll leave you to kind of do this header. And if you guys don't do it, I'll just go ahead and maybe Friday finish this challenge up. But yeah, that's it. That's why I don't finish it. I want give you guys a good head start and then let you guys finish. But I mean, this is the most out of here. I mean, we had about an hour on here already. So yeah, I'll let you guys finish that top part. And yeah, I mean, it looks very close. Like you'll have to we'll probably have to play with the colors and move some of this stuff up and down to help it work a little bit better. But let's see if I can. Maybe if I can grab it. Nope, won't let me grab it. Can't grab it. Well, anyways, we can change the color of that. Maybe I can probably do that now. I know where it is. Just wanted you guys to look what it looks like right now. But we'll make words box. We'll make that light gray instead. Make that gray just so you guys can see. And that gray is too gray. But you guys get the picture. You get the idea. And I would actually have to change this to gray as well to get that black behind. But yeah, that's basically it. What I'll do is I'll email you guys the code for this plus the link to the picture so you can finish it up. Any other questions for some other stuff, Chris?
No, that'll be all for now.
That's it.
I don't got no questions right now. Yeah.
Did today kind of help you out?
Yes, it did.
All right. So cool. Like I said, man, make sure if you have questions, write it down in your notebook and come to class every day ready for them. But other than that, man, I don't have anything else, man. We're just about out of time.
Cool.
All right. Well, cool. Thank you guys for joining. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and like. I'm not sure if you guys subscribe either, Chris and everybody else, but you can help support the channel by subscribing. That'll help get this out to other people to get these classes filled for next semester. All right. So look at this. Get these classes filled and help everybody else start learning code, man. Once again, this is Just Code, Brah. I appreciate you for coming in today, Chris.
Nah,
have
no
a good
problem.
day, all right?
Anytime. You too. You have a good day.
All right, guys. Peace out.
Peace.